Hello, this is Taylor Elwood, your business wizard for eccentric entrepreneurs at ImagineYourReality.com, and today I'm doing a little bit of experimenting with the camera angle. And as you can probably tell, I'm not dressed up in business formal gear. That's because I just got back from a relaxing trip to the beach. In a couple weeks, I'll be going somewhere else, and it occurs to me that one of the things that a business owner has to plan for sometimes is how do you actually go about preparing your business for when you're taking a break from it? And it may seem odd, like why would I even have to prepare for that? But the truth is that if you have clients, you want to make sure that you're taking care of them while you're gone. You also may have other things that are going on with your business that need to be taken care of. And if you're a solo business owner, guess who usually takes care of it? It's you. So I want to give you a few tips that can help you to be prepared for when you're getting ready to go on a break for your business. First thing that I recommend is communicate with your clients. Let them know that you're going to be gone and give them an idea as to how long you're going to be gone. So that way they know. And tell them as well, what they can reasonably expect in terms of response from you while you're gone. Um, Whether you like it or not, when you're away on a vacation or a holiday, people may still need to get a hold of you. So it's important that you either have someone designated who can help those people out, but if you don't have that, you need to at least let them know when they'll be able to hear back from you, and then plan accordingly. So that's one thing, and I recommend that when you do that, that you set it up in a number of different ways. You set it up via your email, for example, so that if people are emailing you, they know you're going to be gone for X and X period of time on holiday. But I also recommend actually telling your clients. The other thing you want to do is, like, let's say you're like me and you actually have some different Facebook groups that you run or something like that. You want to make sure that you have someone else who can run those groups while you're gone. So in my case, I have a good friend of mine who's an admin for my different Facebook groups, and one of the things that I'm going to do is ask him to run the groups for that week. It's not a lot of work. It's just a matter of, hey, can you post a couple of different things that I would normally post? And the reason why is because you want to make sure that activity is continuing. You don't want it to die off. You may not be there, but that doesn't mean that the activity that makes the group healthy and active and awesome needs to die off. And in fact, you don't want it to die off. You want to make sure that you have people that you can turn to. Now, in all honesty, you'll find that if you're doing it right, your group has its own level of activity going anyway. People are posting and responding to things, and that's great, and you want to support that. But I think it's a good idea to make sure that there's at least some type of activity going on, so that even if you're not there, um, some people are seeing, okay, well, the group is still running, someone is running the show, it's continuing on. So that's another thing that I recommend, is going over that with someone and just giving them an idea of what your expectations are. And I wouldn't set the bar too high. I would really just say, okay, during my average week, I post X amount these times. Can you post this, this, and this? Now, if you have a VA, you can set it up so that the VA handles that for you. But I also think it's worthwhile to have a bit more of a personal touch in some ways, and so handing it off to someone who's a fellow admin just kind of says, okay, well, here's this person who's going to offer their own spin on things. It's still going to be in the group, but this person's going to offer their own spin. Um, the other thing with prep is really if there's any work that you want to have done before the trip, is get it done before the trip. Don't do it on the trip. You don't want to do it on the trip because it's going to take away from your enjoyment. For example, when I go in a couple weeks, I'll probably check email still, just because it's a good idea, and I don't want to have, like, a bazillion emails waiting for me when I get back. But I'm likely not going to do much else. I'm literally going to make sure that I take that week off. Now, I'll admit, I'll probably feel a little weird about that because, let's face it, your average business owner, we really don't take any time off. But I think sometimes it's really important to do it. And so, when you're going away on a trip, just give yourself that particular luxury. Just say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to get the work done that needs to be done. I'm going to give myself that time off, and as a result, I will be able to show up more when I come back because I'll be refreshed and revigorated, and I'll be inspired, and all those things are important. So that's another tip, another recommendation I have is get all that work done ahead of time that you can, and if you can't get all of it done, then at least set it up so that if something get the high priority work done that needs to be done, so that if anything can't be done, it's not something that's going to break your business or create a problem for you. And then finally, I think in terms of just preparing for the trip, the most important thing that you can really do is just make that commitment to yourself that you actually are going to allow yourself to enjoy the trip. Have fun. Put all those worries and fears on the back burner if possible, and if you can, at least be honest about them and work through them, and then go and have fun. You know, it's so important to get away from our businesses on occasion. And I say this as someone who, I admit I have trouble sometimes. I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm going away for a week. That's really hard for me to do. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend the next couple weeks just getting prepped, and I'm going to just make sure things are done that need to be done, and then I'm going to move on. Alright, what tips do you have for getting ready for a trip? Feel free to leave, if you want to take a retirement, feel free to leave them below in the comments here, and if you haven't subscribed, please click on the dragon over here. Can I admit that with this different camera angle, it's kind of weird. I'm used to putting my hand like a little further down than it is. Right here, it's kind of weird, but hey. Anyway, have a good weekend, and I will talk to all of you next week.